actually wanted to make this live because, as you can see, this is my first time being with no makeup. Um, it's a little scary for me, and I'm causing a breakthrough as I'm being on this live. So it's a big deal for me, at least. Um, so let's get to it. Today, I wanted to talk about, um, like, if you ever felt like you have to look a certain way for you to be a part of society. I feel like beauty standards definitely have had a huge toll on us and our, like our mental health. They push a lot. Like, I feel like content that you see is like you have to have perfect skin, you have to look a certain way, your lips have to look like this. Like, bigger lips means more, you're hotter, you're cuter. And so just, it's sometimes like walking out looking like yourself, sometimes you don't feel like enough. Because I feel like, honestly, like, that's why I for a longest time I avoided going out with no makeup. And sometimes I feel like some people go out with no makeup, but that doesn't mean like they're owning the fact that they're, having no makeup on and they feel flawless and beautiful. Because I feel like a lot of social media tells you like you have to look, your skin has to be glowing. There has to be nothing on your skin, like, no marks. Look at these are the products that you can use to have perfect skin. And so, today I wanted to talk about the breakthroughs that have, two breakthroughs that have caused me like a lot of confidence in my life, even the confidence to be right now live and show my face with no makeup. Like, it's hard for me to show my face, with no makeup outside. Imagine I'm going live right now where a bunch of people are gonna I'm gonna post it, so a lot of people all over the world are gonna be able to see my live and see me with no makeup. Um, I guess, and if you stay long enough, you're gonna see my before and after if you're new to my channel. So my name is Lucy. I am co-founder of Tacolin. We started our food business, with $90, and we we have several food carts. This was 4 years ago, so we have several food carts now. I'm sorry, 5 years ago. We have several food carts now. We are vendors for big concerts, food festivals, carnivals all over nationwide. So that's what we do now. And before that, I used to be a personal development coach. I have helped countless people literally just be success, like, be their version of success. Because everybody's version of success is very different. It's not, it's, for some people, being successful means that they get to, um, provide for their family. For some people, success means, um, having just a beautiful home to live in and feeling comfortable and feeling like you can vacation anytime. For some people, that may be, I want to be a billionaire. I want to create a lot of money. But success means something different for everybody. So, I used to be, for a couple of years, I was a personal development coach and help people achieve their version of success. And so, yeah, so going back to my topic, and if you see me looking this way, it's because I really like scripting my lives, because then I can go off tangent. I don't know about you guys, but I go off tangent all the time when I'm hanging out with somebody or if I'm talking to someone, because this topic can go into this topic and this topic, and then all of a sudden you're not even talking about the same thing. So if you see me looking this way, it's because I'm actually looking at my notes, making sure I'm on track, like keeping myself on track. Um, okay, so, okay. Yeah, so talking about the beauty standards, like, oh man, this was a huge one for me. So, like, in 2023, a year ago, I was actually, I did not know how to do my makeup. Like, growing up, I'm 33 now. So, I did not know how to do my makeup. I was really bad at it. And I mean, I was decent, but guys, like, if I'm being completely honest, and this is embarrassing. Okay, I look back at my pictures, like, I look back at my pictures and I see my makeup, and I used to draw my eyebrows like really, like really pointy. Nobody told me. None of my friends told me like, hey, maybe you should really look into some makeup classes, or let me teach you how to do your makeup. Nobody told me. Everybody just let me walk around like that, which was not cool. Like, it was like, I told my friends now, I was like, you guys didn't say anything. It's like, we didn't want to hurt your feelings. um, so this was like a 2023, and but I knew in 2024 last year, going into the year, I knew I had to up my game in regards to makeup. So I contacted my friend. She went to beauty school, and her makeup always looks flawless. Like, no matter if we're sweating or whatever it's happening, like it can be really humid outside, her makeup just stays. Like, it stays. So I told her, I was like, okay, you went to beauty school. What would you charge me if you helped me apply my makeup according to my face? And she's like, oh, okay, you need a minimum of like 5 classes. Um, that way I know for sure, we're hands on, and I'll even go with you to the store. So she literally helped me go to the store. Like, I had no idea what these brushes were for. I did not know what none of these were for. And by the way, I need to clean these. They're supposed to wash these every day, or clean them every day. I didn't do that yesterday. But yeah, like, I did not know what these were for. I did not know what these were for. I just knew that they were there, and if I saw something, I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure this one's for like your eyeshadow, so I'm just gonna put it right there. But sometimes I would just like use my finger, and I did not think that there was anything wrong with that. But apparently, there's so many things for different things. So she went to the store with me. She started with me with my makeup classes. We went to Ulta, and give me a second. We went to Ulta, and she helped me. She was explaining everything, and it was like a whole new world. I don't know about you guys, but it was like speaking a whole nother language. I did not even know. Like, she's like, oh, this one's made out of mink, and this one's made out of blah blah blah. And I'm like, does it really make a difference? She's like, it really does. And so now that I think about it, all that stuff really does make a difference. But it doesn't mean that, by the way, like how I told her, I like being budget friendly. I'm sorry, I'm on a budget. I'm not the type of girl that's going to spend a lot of money on makeup. I feel like if you, like if it requires me to buy expensive products, I'm just not going to do it, because my budget's going to go to something else. Like, it's going to go to groceries. It's going to go to things that are more important to me, that are, I guess, a priority. And so, yeah, so we were, so she's like, no, all the makeup that she uses, it's like, they can, it's NYX, it's, some of it is ELF, and she's like, you just need to know how to apply it. And I think a lot of people get influenced by these influencers saying like, oh, this one's, $50, but it will last you all day. It's like, no, girl, like, that's not gonna last you all days. How you apply it is what's gonna help you keep your makeup impeccable if you want it all day. It's just the way you apply it. And so she taught me all of that. So, and what used to take me 2 hours, so in the beginning when I first started, took me 2 hours to do my makeup, because I would be looking back. I decided to record like parts of what she would share, because these classes would be like 2 hours, and it would be a lot of information. And so I would be recording a lot of the stuff that she would say. It's like, can you repeat that again? I'm gonna record it, that way you remember. So when I started applying makeup, it took me like 2 hours. Literally 2 hours to do just simple everyday makeup, because my body just wasn't used to it. It was something new. And so one beautiful thing that started happening as I was like learning how to apply my makeup, like every day. I started off really bad, by the way. Like, it wasn't never, and still till this day. It's only been a year. I'm still learning new techniques. I'm still applying the stuff, and every now and then I still go back to the videos. But yeah, I feel like a lot of these tips, since I'm also like co-founder of Bacolin, but I teach dance fitness classes and strength training classes, and I also teach, I'm part of a dance team. So I'm very active. I am always either at the gym or a dance studio, and so I'm always sweating. or I'm outside in, with the business. And so I'm always sweating. And the reason why, like she said, like how you apply makeup is everything is because I wanted to make sure before I used to apply my makeup, I used to do my eyeliner and my mascara, and then sometimes it would like run down of how much I sweat because I sweat a lot. Like I know it's gross. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm sharing too much. I know it's like gross, and I used to sweat a lot, and then I would finish the class, and it would be like my eyeliner would be all smeared. It was really bad. So she taught me how to apply it so my lifestyle can go with the makeup that I have. And by the way, like even right now, what I'm using is like NYX, or do you call it NYX? I don't know. NYX, NYX. It's not even makeup that's that expensive. Because, like I said, that would not be my priority if that's the case. I was not going to do it. I knew myself. I was not going to do it. I'm not going to spend $50 on a foundation. I'm not going to spend like $30 on a concealer. Like, I'm just not. It's not a priority. I can survive without it. So, give me a second. I do need to focus on this. I think this is the only thing, this concealer is the only thing that I bought that is a little pricey, and this one's what from Too Faced. It's not even that pricey, but for me, I'm sorry, but for me, it's a little pricey. But I really like this one. Um, it's not as liquidy as other concealers. Let me know if you guys really like this type of video, because this is my first time going live where I'm not working, because this is our working YouTube. But since I'm not really working outside today, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go live, and I'm gonna go live as I'm applying my makeup. Even if I'm not working, I'm technically still gonna work, but I'm gonna be on my iPad and my computer, and so I'm not gonna be outside showing you guys how I work. But I was like, you know what, I need to go live, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna take a leap of faith in myself and confidence, and show the world what I look like without my makeup, which is a huge deal. Like growing up, for me, growing up, I used to get picked on a lot when I was a kid in middle school because of the way I looked. I looked a certain way. Either I was too chunky, either I was too or I was not pretty enough. I never really got asked out to be like a girlfriend. So obviously that stays with you. All that stuff stays with you. And you create stories in your head like, oh, I'm not good looking enough. Oh my God, I play way too much. I'm not good looking enough. I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not enough. Really what you're saying is I'm not enough. Like who I am is not enough. And I grew up with that. So you can only imagine the self-esteem that I had once I got to high school. I think that's why I became so mean. I was, instead of being bullied, because I was bullied in middle school, that I became the bully in high school. I became the bully. And that's not something I'm proud of, but that's something that I'm owning. Like I had to go through that. Now I'm on the other side of it. I'm like, oh, I was not a nice person back then. I was freaking mean. I don't know if I can say the word, but bitch. But I'm owning it because I feel like a lot of times we don't own who we were, that you're not able to move on because you're still carrying that with you. And so, give me a second. I need to really focus right here because it's like too much. I played way too much because I was over here getting too distracted and talking. It's okay. I can fix it. Okay, so I got picked on a lot. And so I think that's why, like, now when I started applying makeup and, like, this past year that I gotten better and better and better, and then people started complimenting me. It's like, oh, I love your eyebrows. Like, wow, your makeup looks flawless, girl. Or, you get these compliments, and then if I didn't really resolve, like, owning myself, even with or without makeup, like, those compliments can really get to your head. Which is why I'm doing this live. I was like, I am beautiful. I'm beautiful. That not even if it's not quote unquote beauty standards, but I'm beautiful because I'm unique. And I feel like everybody's beautiful because they're unique. man, if we all walked around like that, I mean, I kind of got a little emotional there. Like, if we all walked around knowing that we're unique and that's what makes us really beautiful and like really getting it, like this world would be way different. Way different. And these makeup companies wouldn't be able to profit off of us so much. But I think it starts with like little baby steps, like me doing my makeup right now. And being with no makeup and messing up with my makeup, which I keep messing up right now. But that's because I've never really applied my makeup while talking. Like I said, I've only learned how to apply my makeup like well for a year, all put together, you know? So it's scary. Even right now, I'm scared. Isn't that crazy? Even right now, I'm scared. Even though I'm doing it, I'm scared that I'm applying my makeup and people are seeing with no makeup, because I was like hiding behind the makeup and knowing that, oh man, I look beautiful with my makeup and not without. So right now, I'm causing probably one of the biggest breakthroughs so far of my life. Is by taking those small actions, those tiny actions of bravery. That is seriously, like, I'm scared and I'm still here. Last night when I thought about this, because I think about my lives and I write a script of what my lives like, and I put pinpoints, which is why I like looking at my notes right now. But I put pinpoints of what I'm going to talk about, and it's always about something that has helped me in my life, and or something that I'm going through, and I'm sharing my experience, and hopefully somebody out there benefits out of me sharing, which is why I talk, which is why I do these lives. I want to share with the world that they're not alone. Especially right now, we all think that we're so alone, because even though we're quote unquote like connected through the internet, but we're a very, very lonely society. This is the first society where hanging out is not normal anymore. Somebody that hangs out outside of like their work or their family, like that's weird. Like that's not normal anymore. Like having actual friends. And the thing is, we actually thrived out of creating community. We thrived out of benefiting out of each other. And this is the first time that we don't do that. This society, this culture that we are in right now is very in their phones. And yes, we feel quote unquote together, but not really, because we are on our phones and we're distracted. Which reminds me, hold on. By the way, it took me till March. It took me till March to get better. So I started in January of 2024 with the makeup classes. I finished in February, mid-February, and then it wasn't until like endings of March. You know what? I may be lying. To like April, where I started feeling comfortable. Dude, that's like 2 months later. But it took me that long the whole time. Look at, I'm shaping my cute little nose. I like making my nose looking like more narrow. So I put this on. Let's see. Oh yes. Oh my God. Okay, so I was also gonna talk about the fact. Okay, so when I was 23 years old, maybe a lot of you may have heard this story already, but I will definitely go more into depth in regards to this story. When I was 23 years old, I was an alcoholic, and I used to, when you drink so much, well, at least, sorry, I'm talking about my experience. When I drank a lot, I used to get the munchies after. And it got to the point, by the time I was 23, so I started drinking at age 18, but it was not a heavy drinker till like 21, and then 23 was really bad. I was already an alcoholic. I was dependent on booze. I was dependent on, like, it became my identity. So when I used to drink, I used to get really hammered at least 4 times a week, but it would be like every other day. and then I would get the munchies, and then I would want to get whatever fast food was nearby. So I was very unhealthy, and I was a fitness instructor. Like I was a fitness instructor, and this is like by behind closed doors. This is what I was doing to myself, and I wasn't like like super chunky. I was like chunky, like let's say I was like this. Okay. So when I used to drink a lot, I used to um, eat, and it would be like really greasy food. You crave the greasiest food. I used to love In and Out. I used to love Buffalo Wild Wings. Oh, the habanero wings. Oh, I hope they still have those. I haven't been there in like probably a decade since I was 23. Oh my god. Oh my god. I didn't realize that till literally right now. Because I stopped eating Buffalo Wild Wings when I stopped drinking. And so it's been a decade, and I've been when I started when I stopped drinking. And so yeah, like I used to be really overweight, and since I'm short, I'm 5'3", and so since I'm 5'3", I when I was gaining weight, you can notice it right away because I'm short. So I would just look wider and wider, and it made me actually look shorter. So people they noticed how much I was like continuously gaining weight. Like, but my mom was definitely worried. My sister didn't say anything because we didn't really have too much of a relationship, to be completely honest. Like, definitely nothing like how we have it right now. Um, but because I messed up my relationship. So when I used to get drunk, I used to get like really like hammered, and I used to let out a lot of my rage. And like, yeah, I mean, I had so many reasons to, right? I was bullied. My younger years, then I became the bully because I was like upset at the world. Um, then other things that I've shared in other lives, which I'm not going to talk about right now, but things happened to me when I was a kid that caused a lot of serious trauma to my to in a lot of yeah, like a lot of serious trauma. And so I used to be really chunky. I used to drink and be when I used to drink, it was like really bad. It was so bad. It was, I mean, like if I told you, oh, let's go hang out and drink, you probably, like, my friends at the time were probably like, oh man, Lucy's gonna get crazy tonight, and we're gonna have to take care of her. She's gonna be throwing up somewhere. And I was like, I I'm so grateful for the friends that tolerated me. I mean, they weren't the best of friends, but they tolerated me, and they didn't leave me out to die. So at least they weren't completely bad friends. They would just be people that would influence me to continue drinking too, because they were dealing with their own trauma. They were dealing with their own stuff, and I was dealing with my own stuff, and we're all people that are lost in this world. So I don't even judge them. We were just there at that point where we kind of needed each other, at least in that way. um, we supported one another, and it's not the healthiest way. I'm not saying that it is, but it's just what the type of friends that I had at the time. So I used to be really drunk, and the day that I decided to stop, that I stopped drinking, oh man, the way it happened, it's okay. It's an embarrassing story, so I'm letting you know right now. It's an embarrassing story. I'm not proud of it. And but it had to happen. It had to happen for me to be where I'm at right now. And so, okay, so I was grounded because my parents, like, they couldn't trust me. I was drinking all the time, and they were always telling me, like, hey, you're grounded. And I would not listen. Like, I would not listen. It's like talking to a wall. They couldn't really control me. My parents were already getting sick and tired of me. And I remember they got grounded for, I mean, obviously something dumb that I did. My fault. And and my friends told me, it's like, hey, we're having a party. It's like 2 blocks away from your house. And I was like, is it this weekend? I'm grounded this weekend. It's like, girl, just come. It's okay. So I literally, like, it was a second. It was 2-story house. My room was upstairs. I managed to sneak out and go to this party. And let me tell you, I went to this party. I got hammered as always, and then um, I was outside. I was outside. I remember I was feeling so dizzy. I was like, oh man, let me get a breather, because everybody inside the house was smoking, and there was like a bunch of stuff in the air that was. I mean, at the time, if I got that drunk, I wouldn't want to smoke because I knew I would throw up. But it smelled like WEED. Um, Inside the house, because there was no I mean, I was like, what, 23, and there was no adults. It was just people my age, and I just remember thinking like, um I just remember thinking like, oh man, I need to get out of this house because I'm gonna throw up. Like, I'm just like, it's the smoke is too, it's too smoky. And so I go outside. I went with who at the time was my ex. I was with my ex, but we were really good friends. I can tell he was always really worried about me. He deeply cared. So he's like, okay, let's go outside. So we go outside, and tell me why, when I go outside, I see my dad and my mom pull up. How did they find my location? I have no idea, because at the time GPS wasn't a thing. I really don't know what happened, like how they managed to figure where I'm at. And I just remember my dad was like starting to scream as soon as he got out of the car, like, you were grounded, like, you're not supposed to be here, blah, blah, blah. And I was so drunk. I just, like, that's all I kind of remember, because everything felt so blurry. Like, that's how drunk I was. And my dad's like yelling at me, and then he I don't know what I said, but I talked back to my dad. And I think that's the first time I actually had the guts to talk back to my dad. And I don't even want to call that guts. Like, that's so disrespectful. I talked back to my dad. I don't know what I said, but I talked back, and it was like screaming. And let me tell you, my dad, like the first and only time, by the way, I just remember seeing, like, in slow motion, he's like, like right in my face, and I was so drunk that I didn't feel it. I just all of a sudden fell on the floor. Like, all of a sudden I just remember seeing the concrete, like the sidewalk. I was like, whoa, and it was so drunk I couldn't feel it, but I was just kind of like shocked. Like, he slapped the bejesus out of me. He slapped the drunkenness out of me. I was like, oh snaps, like, I'm gonna feel the crap out of this tomorrow. And he, like, it sobered me up a little, and he's like, get in the car, we're going home. So I get in the car, go home, and my parents are downstairs. He's like, we can't be with you anymore. Like, we can't control you. If you can't live under our rules, you have to go. And we love you, your mom loves you. It's like, it's not that we don't love you, it's just that we can't see you like this anymore. We can't see you like this anymore. And my dad was so angry. He was red, like red. Man, I still remember his face. That's like a memory. Sometimes I try to, like, block out of my memory. But yeah, I remember seeing his face. It was really red. And then my mom was in the back, and she was quiet. She didn't even add anything or nothing. I think she was just, like, she gave up. She finally had given up on me and agreed with Dad. So I remember falling asleep that day and feeling like crap the next morning. And I think that's the occasion that woke me up, and I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I like this? Why am I doing this to myself? And like all these questions that were finally arising, instead of avoiding, like I was actually like, what am I doing with my life? It's like, what am I doing to my family? What am I doing to my parents? Why am I like this? I know it's wrong and yet I'm still doing it. Why? Why can't I stop myself from drinking? Once I drink one drink, I just want to forget the world and I just want to get hammered. Why? So when I finally seeked out for help, and it was with my sister, just came at the right time. Like it was a perfect timing. It was definitely God's divine timing. And my sister's like, hey, I'm doing this program, this personal development seminar, which I feel like would benefit you. I think you should take it, or at least come with an introduction. It's completely free. You get to see what the program's all about. I resisted, but then I was like, okay, you know what? Okay, let's go. I got to the program. Everybody in there looked super nice. Everybody in there looked, like everybody was happy to be there. You see everybody like smiling and hugging each other, and I'm like, what is this? Like, this does not feel like, I'm so not used to this. You feel like a presence of like bliss, but I didn't even know that it was bliss in the air. It was just like, this is an off feeling. And I signed up for that program. Because I got out of there, I was like, I don't have the money for that. But my sister's like, I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it. He's like, all you need to do is put $200, but the rest I'll pay. That way she knows, like, she's like, I just want you to value it. If it's completely free, you won't value it. And I was like, okay. And I remember going into that program. So this was like weeks later, right? I signed up for the program that was coming up the fastest, and I signed up for that. And I told myself, okay, I'm not gonna drink. I'm gonna take this program, and I'm gonna give it everything I got because I have nothing else to lose. I'm about to, like, my parents don't want me anymore. I'm about to leave. I don't have nowhere to go. I don't even have real friends. I don't have anywhere. This is all I got. This is all I got. It's like, okay, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it the right way. And I remember telling myself, okay, just like, I'm not going to drink for this week. I'm not going to drink. I told my dad, I was like, Dad, can you please help me lose weight? Because at the time he was really into the gym and eating healthy, like eating your green shakes, protein shakes, all of that. You look really good. And I told Dad, I was like, Dad, can you help me lose weight? I want to be healthy. My dad didn't believe me, right? Like I said, they wanted me out of the house, but I told them I was going to change. So I'm there, but I'm not really like wanted there. And I told Dad, I was like, hey, can you help me help me lose weight? And my dad didn't believe me, but he's like, okay, just do this one thing. Just apply this one thing the next couple of days. And if you do it, come back to me and I'll give you more, I'll give you more guidance. Days happen, right? And I did it. He just said, stop eating at night and drink more water. Super simple, right? I was like, okay, easy enough. I came back, I did it. Took me days, I did it. I was like, I wasn't eating at night. I was drinking more water. I was like, Dad, okay, I did what you said. Can you please help me some more? And he's like, you really, you did that? And I was like, yeah. I told you I wanted to lose weight. And I haven't been drinking, by the way. So what else can I do? He's like, okay, stop eating salt and sugar because your body needs to detox. And in my mind, I'm like, crap, like, that's really hard. But I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'll do it. So I go do it for the next week. And at the time, I already went to this program, right, where where it's like helping me it's helping my mental state. And I just realized that looks so funny. Look at this. Look at this. um, and so I go, take off salt. I'm doing the program also, right? The personal development program. I'm working the program. I'm losing weight, and the program's what's keeping me from like going back to my old habits. Like I needed to put something in place. Put something in place so I don't, I don't go back to my old habits. Because if you don't put something new in place, new actions that are not the same actions that you've been taking, then you won't get different results. You'll go back to your old habits. So you need to put something new in place to be able to come up with a new outcome. So I was going to the program. I started implementing new eating habits, and then I started losing the weight. And can you guys guess how many pounds I lost the first month? Because remember, I stopped drinking. I stopped eating salt and sugar. And then obviously it didn't go out because I would have to know exactly what the food would have, so I wouldn't really go out and have fun, quote unquote fun, right? In the first month, I lost 18 pounds. I lost 18 pounds. The second month, I decided to do that for one more month to tell my body, like, how can you do it again? And then I told myself, like, I can do one more month. I can do it. And so I was sober for another month. I kept my eating habits the way that they were. I was in a calorie deficit, so I was burning more than what I was eating. And so the second month I lost 12 pounds. So keep in mind I was 150, and I lost 18 pounds the first month, and then 12. And then I started looking small. Oh, like right now. Like right now. I no longer look big. Everybody in the second month is like, girl, what are you doing? Are you okay? You look sick. When they would see me like in my fitness classes, right? Because like I said, I taught fitness classes. It's like, are you okay? You look sick. You're losing weight really quick. Or how's your health? And I was like, no, I'm taking care of myself. I'm no longer eating or drinking my feelings away. And I didn't know I couldn't give any more information than that because I was still dealing with myself. But that's how I would tell people to not be worried, because it was very drastic. And so, but I started really owning like who I was, like also owning my, not just owning like who I was, but like owning my life. Like, man, I messed up really bad in different parts of my life, which is why I would like let myself go and avoid a lot of things. I've damaged a lot of friendships and relationships, and I was doing the program, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna ask for forgiveness for all the people that I harmed at the time, and I did that. So it was definitely life-changing time for me at age 23. But you know what? Like, all of this happened was because I was taking one brave action a day. One brave action a day. Okay, today I'm not drinking. That was the action. Even though my body was craving it, my mind wanted it, especially when it would be in a bad mood. I wanted it, I'm human, especially if you have an addiction. It's kind of like your body craves it, and if you don't give it, it gets in a bad mood. But after what was it? For me, it was 60 days. It was 60 days. After 60 days, my body felt like bunch of weight just got lifted off my shoulders, because I was not just dealing with my physical self, I was dealing with my mental state, like what I was avoiding all these years, all the people that I harmed, all the, mostly people. I think it was just mostly all the people that I harmed along the way, out of being mean and bitching, like all of that, you know? But it starts with one brave action. One brave action a day. And I think sometimes we try to take on the whole world and make these massive changes, but we overwhelm ourselves. And what has helped me all this time is just taking one action a day. One action, and then acknowledging it. Like, oh, I did this today. Oh, today I didn't drink. Let's see how tomorrow goes. One day at a time. One day at a time. One action, one brave action. And that's what gave me the courage to, because I feel like that's how you also get confidence. By taking brave actions, small ones, and then they accumulate, your body reads it like, oh, if you're capable of doing that, you're capable of doing this. And so that's how I created confidence. It's by taking one small brave action a day. Like right now, starting my life, being self-conscious that I never really go out in public without makeup, because I got so, my addictive personality got so, like, for years, like, oh, I get good attention by putting my makeup nice, and people are nicer to me because I'm part of, like, society's, like, I guess, beauty standard. But like today, my brave action was going live, starting with no makeup, getting to see the world, getting to see how I look, and I'm just showing like, hey, this is who I am. And who knows? Maybe I like this so much that it's so freeing that I may do more of this. I can see that happening already. I can see it. So, yeah, what do you guys think? I know I rambled on, told my stories. I talked a lot. Tell me what you guys think. Would be what for you, like if you take one brave action, like what if it's something that you've always wanted to do and you haven't done it because you're scared? And taking one small action towards that goal or towards that dream, like what would that look like? Because it starts with one brave action. Yeah, it doesn't have to even be big. You can start, like, let's say I want to start my own business. It can start with one brave action today. Like, what would that look like? Or I want to lose weight. Okay, one brave action today. What does that look like? So, like, how would that provide value? And let me know if my stories provide value too. I want to know. Like, definitely put it in the comments. I definitely want to know. And if my lives are impacting you in any sort of way, it can even be like in a bad way. It's okay. I would want to hear it. Maybe it's something I can improve in my storytelling where it can land better. There's always room for improvement. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. Ooh. I just need to finish with my my lip liner and my, ooh. Why am I not going to do that? I do this. So yes. If you guys want to see my other lives, I did go live yesterday. It was a really good live too, because I experienced a theft 2 days ago. And I was like, oh my God, like I was, honestly, that live, from yesterday. It was really good. I'll put it in the description below. But that live was really good because I'll explain to you what happened and how I dealt with it, because the ending will definitely shock you. Definitely. It's a good ending. But yes, I'll leave it at that. This is the end product. This is how we look. And thank you guys so much for being here with me for my first video of like no makeup and showing the world like how I look without makeup and with makeup. All right. Hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll let you guys go. Bye. I just need to turn this off. How do I turn it off?